Oh, mercy.
Maybe Tennessee was just a rough and tumble state.
Don't give it that much credit, man.
That's true.
I definitely remember kids doing stuff like that. In Wisconsin as well.
I've heard that's also a rough and tumble state because of all the cheese.
Yeah, it gets in the blood. It angers up the blood.
All that sour food.
It's all, yeah, sauerkraut, cheese, bratwursts.
I would kill to have some sauerkraut right now. I fucking love sauerkraut.
You know, we live in
Jars of it.
Korea where you can get the good sauerkraut, which is called kimchi.
I love kimchi too, but I think they're pretty different. I mean,
They are different. I'm saying kimchi is way better.
I go back and forth. I like them both for different reasons. Sauerkraut on a sandwich is just fucking great.
Okay. I'm saying I would just eat good kimchi like almost on its own.
If we were doing this at my apartment and I had that bag of tortilla chips, I would have already got my blender out. Yes, I'm a bouge. I own a blender. That's bougie. I know. Just the bourgeoisie over here.
What, you would have blended some sauerkraut?
Oh no, I've gotten really into. You're gonna find this disgusting, but I love to just take the kimchi I keep in my refrigerator, put it in the blender, and blend it into like a salsa, and then eat it on tortilla chips, and it's fucking great.
That's not disgusting. That makes sense to me.
It's like it's became my like salsa replacement in Korea because salsa is really expensive here, and I was like, what would be like salsa? I was like, what if I just blended up kimchi and started eating it on tortilla chips? And man, it's fucking great. So that's my podcast recommendation. If you're listening to this part of the podcast, if you have access to kimchi, throw it in your blender, blend it down, maybe add some cayenne pepper or some jalapenos if you keep them like I do.
So just basically make your own salsa.
You're making kimchi salsa. Salsa. Delicious salsa.
All right. We've got 4 more movies to watch.
Let's go for it.
This is it's not called Jurassic Park Part 2. It is called The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Or maybe there's no colon, but it is The Lost World, Jurassic Park, which is the second one. 1997, Steven Spielberg stepped aside.
Does it have Nazis?
Maybe.
Cool.
They're dinosaur hunters that are kind of Nazi-esque, I guess. We're on the 5-second mark, on 1. Or wait, was it on 3 before?
It was on 3.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hondu said. The universal globe has changed in this movie from the first one.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, they've since updated their globe.
Oh, I thought you meant it changed since Jurassic Park 1.
Yeah, no, it has.
Oh.
From this movie, from Jurassic Park 1. Jurassic Park 1, they were using a different globe.
Okay. So now there's a wind sound and nothing on the screen. Eerie rumbling and roaring, says the subtitles. And the ocean. We looked upon the face of the deep, and we said, look at that fucker dance. And there's the island. Islands? Isle of... Oh, this is... Okay. Isle Nublar is the Jurassic Park island. This is the neighboring island. Same font here. Good old Amblin Entertainment. So far, it's looking like a real normal extension of the first movie.
Where did they go wrong?
That's what we're here to analyze, to detect, to figure it out.
My boat.
I could go for some champagne.
I could go for owning a boat. Because it would be my life was in a much better state.
Rich people On a beach
Rich people with their workers.
with servants giving them sandwiches and champagne.
I remember when I was a child and my dad would take me out on the yacht and their servants would bring me a nice peanut butter and jelly sandwich and I would throw it on the ground and say, "What is this disgusting jelly? I asked for strawberry, not grape."
Pull this nail out of my foot. God damn it.
Edward, I can't pour my own glass of champagne. Please come here. I was considering it for a moment.
Here come the tiny dinosaurs that in the book ate Dr. Hammond. Spoiler alert.
Where's her shoes? For being rich, you think she could afford shoes.
I mean, they are on the beach.
That's a good point.
See, this bad start. Okay, wait, that's a puppet though. But it looked like bad CGI for a second. My memory is that the CGI looks worse in this movie, even though it's 4 years later. But maybe it's like the trend with all movies, like CGI just becomes more dominant in general. Because it's cheaper and it's easier. It's weird to me that it's cheaper though in a way, because like even this right here is fairly sophisticated CGI, right? I bet it costs a fair amount of money.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
But I guess creating like animatronics and operating them, I don't know. I just have no idea.
Is their beautiful daughter just a skeleton now?
That would be hilarious. Okay, I was gonna say that background looked really fake.
Yeah.
He looks even more badass somehow.
Well, he did live through something.
Well, he's ditched the glasses and he's got more like a stubble, but he's still got the same jacket. Goldblum on the subway.
Who's that
Presumably
guy?
New York City subway.
Who's that actor?
I don't recognize him.
I've seen him in something bad. I've seen him in a bad movie.
That tracks.
I'll think of it in a second.
He looks so generic to me.
What bad movie did I see you in?
I mean, with someone with your face blindness affliction, this guy could be anybody.
I know.
And I don't have the affliction, but this guy could just be anybody. He is so generic to me. I feel like he's like not even an actor. Like he's like the cinematographer's nephew or something, who just gets to be the guy who annoys Goldblum on the subway. I mean, we could look all this shit up right now if we wanted to, but it's kind of more fun to just ignorantly guess. Been summoned.
Right,
That guy looks like he built his whole career off of playing butlers in movies.
It's Alfred, right?
Yeah. The poor man's Alfred.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Jurassic Park Hammond is no Bruce Wayne.
Oh, they're in this movie. I thought they were only in the first one. What's funny is she looks almost like an adult now, and he looks exactly the same to me.
Yeah, he's got different hair. He's a bit older.
He's still really short. What a loser.
I take offense to that.
Why? You're not short. big cover up. There was a discrepancy in the subtitles there. He said you stuffed misinformation on the public's throat.
Mm.
And the subtitles just said you misinformed the public. I feel like that kind of accent, it's not even like a British accent. It's just American bad guy accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of feel
It's like that kind of generic. Like
generic. I went to an Ivy League school, and I believed everything they fed me.
yeah, it's that kind of like what would you call it? Mid-Atlantic accent or something. But it's like an American trying to sound like a bad British villain or something. Like a Bond villain. Important exposition. So there was a second dinosaur island. Getting the band back together, minus the two most other charismatic characters.
Is Sam and Laura not in this one? Oh, that sucks.
No, not at all. That's probably first and foremost a big mistake. I'm pretty sure they just
didn't want to do it.
Yeah, they just didn't want to do it.
They looked at the script and went, nope.
I would guess so, because like I'm sure they got offered a fucking bags full of money.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the reason is, honestly. Kind of should.
They must have had reasons.
Goldblum is also the only one who's comes back in the reboot ones, but he's only in them for like 5 seconds.
Mm.
But yeah, Goldblum is the lead in this one. He keeps calling it that accident at the park. It's really downplaying what happened in the first movie. She's a skeleton now.
She's missing her face and her nose.
Oh, titular line already. Oh, so one of the kind of interesting things about the production of this movie is that the power of Spielberg to just get shit done. He basically forced Michael Crichton to write the sequel novel for the sake of this movie.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, instead of just being like, can you write a script? No, I can't remember the reasoning exactly, but like, Michael Crichton was like, I don't want to write a sequel. Like, I ended the movie with like the main guy getting eaten by tiny dinosaurs. Like, but Spielberg was like, here's a bag of money. Like, write the fucking book. And he like just cranked out this bad book really quickly. And then it was basically like Spielberg's. Actually, I've said Spielberg doesn't direct this. I think I'm not right about that.
I don't know if he does or not.
I think he does, actually. Girlfriend? I thought they were supposed to be a divorced couple.
Oh, I think this is a new girl.
No, not from the first movie. And it's Julianne Moore. My memory of this movie is that their dynamic is they're like a divorced couple or separated or something.
I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
I've literally not seen this movie since it was in the theaters in 1997.
Yeah, I guess I don't think I watched it from beginning to end since then either, but I've seen like bits and pieces of it. But I remember really distinctly seeing it in the theater, like on like opening night or opening weekend, and it was like maybe the most packed theater I've ever been in. There were like people like standing in the aisle and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about...
But it was like so underwhelming, I remember too. And I went in with like big expectations, of course.
I guess the most packed theater I was in was probably for Attack of the Clones.
Man, that's a real shit sequel.
Yeah.
The worst Star Wars film ever made.
It was not... Well, I actually... Wait. Attack of the... Which one was the first prequel? Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Sorry, Phantom Menace is what I meant to say.
That makes more sense to your story.
I just got the two mixed up in chronological order in my head. Attack of the Clones is the first movie I ever got up and left early.
Good for you, man.
Because I remember
I watched the whole thing.
I went with my friends. I mean, I liked Star Wars, but I didn't like love Star Wars like some of my friends. But I remember just getting so annoyed. And I was already smoking by that time because it was late high school or whatever. And I was like, I was just going to go outside and smoke cigarettes. Hey, it's that guy. Is he
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
I forgot he was in this movie.
Before his True Detective days.
Way before. You know, I watched that season 2 of True Detective.
I think it's better than people give it credit for. It's nowhere near as good as the first season, but it wasn't as terrible as people
I rewatched
say.
it last weekend, all in like one night for some reason. I don't know why.
Did you happen to watch the third season? Because I thought the third season was excellent.
The third season's really good, yeah. Troglodyte. Good word use. Oh, here's the dynamic. I was confusing. This is his daughter, and he's divorced from her mother.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad.
And his girlfriend is Julianne Moore, who's some sort of
Actress.
paleontologist. Yes, actress. The Wikipedia entry for the Lost World novel describes it as a 1995 techno thriller.
Can he just say the nice fatherly thing of, the island has fucking dinosaurs and I don't want you to be eaten. Look, life's tough sometimes, but
Life finds a way sometimes, sweetie.
you're my daughter, and I would prefer for you to be on the mainland where it's less likely that you're eaten by dinosaurs. But rich money and capitalists keep meddling in the world, and they're just going to make it worse and worse as you get older. You'll have to deal with things like air pollution and bad weather, daughter. In fact, I was irresponsible. Oh. All these guys look just like Vince Vaughn.
Why? Because Vince Vaughn is standing right there?
That's not Vince Vaughn.
Yes, it is.
That guy?
No, but behind...
No, that's not Vince Vaughn.
Right there.
No, that's not Vince Vaughn.
Pretty
Really?
sure it was.
It wasn't. Go back. Don't go back. But trust me, it's not. I thought it was Vince Vaughn too. Then he turned around, and my face blindness turned off, and it was not Vince Vaughn.
I don't know.
Oh, she's gonna sneak in the luggage. That's how the kid gets into it. Is she also a computer hacker?
I don't remember.
Is her and a white girl gonna hack computers together?
I think she's the only kid who's in the majority of the movie.
Oh, the other kids.
I think she's also a gymnast, which becomes a really hilarious scene. Probably the only scene I really remember from this movie. Which I remember, I think the audience laughing at. Not in a way that I don't think it was intended to be laughed at. But Steven Spielberg definitely directed this, which I forgot. And
what's the Metacritic score on this movie?
I'm not sure yet. I'll check it out. But Michael Crichton had never written a sequel to any of his books before, and it says he was pressured by his fans to write a sequel. And he was also pressured by Steven Spielberg because he wanted to make a sequel film. And he was really hesitant to do it.
I don't get it.
And then he has all of this pretentious shit about so in the first book, Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum's character, dies in the original book.
Yeah.
But he brings him back to life inexplicably for the sequel. And he says it's an homage to a Sherlock Holmes book that does the same thing with some character. That's just his lazy way of being I had to bring back this character that people like.
They do it with Sherlock a few times, right?
I guess that's what he's talking about, yeah. Yeah, Sherlock had been killed off and brought back. He says the title is an homage to Arthur Conan Doyle book also called The Lost World. Okay. Crichton's novel also shares some similarities with Doyle's novel, as they both involve an expedition to an isolated Central American location where dinosaurs roam. That's the whole plot. That's not just sharing a few similarities. I didn't know Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a book about dinosaurs either.
He wrote a lot of books.
One of them's bound to be about dinosaurs.
Yep.
Is that
It's like in the
It's
Hitchhiker's
like
Guide.
Godwin's Law or whatever.
It's like in
except
the
for
Hitchhiker's
dinosaurs.
Guide to the Galaxy. If you travel far enough into the galaxy, you can find a planet where Arthur Dole books grow on trees, and one of those books is about dinosaurs. That was the thing in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You didn't need factories to make stuff because if you traveled far enough, you could go to a planet where something that you wanted grew naturally.
That's cool.
Be
It's
that-
a cool take on like a multiverse sort of theory.
Be that books on trees or hammers on trees.
Seems like it would be more efficient to just make hammers or books. But
Oh yeah,
hey, we didn't see these dinosaurs in the first one. And that's some,
that's some stegosauruses, right?
yeah. It's also some.
I don't think that CG is terrible.
I was gonna say I feel like the CG is less convincing. It just looks more CG-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not as good.
Also, this is in like daylight, so maybe that's why. And I want to compare everything unfavorably to the first movie. Maybe I should fight that impulse to be more fair. This is the meta movie where Goldblum just keeps commenting on the first movie.
I think the problem with my instant problem with this movie is the first movie like gets right into the action or the horror or whatever.
Yeah, literally, that cold open is great. I mean, they tried to do that with this one, but it's not scary at all. The thing with the little girl and the...
Yeah, I don't-
If they had shown her, like you said, if they had suddenly panned back and she was just a skeleton, completely clean skeleton, that would
shit
have been amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that just going off of cold open comparisons, like you can't compare at all to the first movie. There's also no Muldoon. There's a sort of stand-in for Muldoon that we'll see later, but he's also he's like an evil. Oh God, she's annoying in this movie, isn't she? She's just really into dinosaurs. That sounds like some real pseudoscience, I gotta say, just on a gut level.
It doesn't to me, but
If you need that certain chemical compound to live, like, I don't know. I guess it's not that far reaching, but
I think
it seems like a comparison to like,
well, it's like a compound in proteins, which are pretty like common anyways. So I think like the scientists on the first island made this big mistake of just like making it something that's going to be easy for them to find in nature.
okay.
It'd be so cool if she gets eaten right now.
It's a Vegisaurus, though.
It's a turtle.
Stegosaurus grunts softly. I love the closed captions.
I mean, we could all agree that The Land Before Time is truly the best dinosaur movie, and Jurassic Park is number 2. Just want to throw that out there.
I mean, I didn't ever cry watching a Jurassic Park movie like I did during Land Before Time.
I mean, you haven't lived unless you've cried as a kid watching The Land Before Time the first time.
Didn't they make like a lot of sequels to that movie?
There's like 10. I know
That
I've seen like
sucks.
the first 2.
Same here, I think. If I even saw the second one, I'm not sure.
But I think they started. I mean, The Land Before Time came out when we were kids, like young
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
But I think the sequels came out much later, like after we were teenagers or whatever.
Also, she's a shitty scientist if she's just like going around touching these animals. Like the whole idea of observing animals is to not interfere, but I guess it's showing her hubris. See, this is just not scary. This looks too much like CG to me. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just
there's like they were trying to show off special effects at this point.
But it seems less.
I know.
It's Spielberg, but he's not directing this well. And also it's like looking at the history behind like how the story was written, like they just basically forced this novelist to crank out a book. I mean, I think I tried to read the second book and didn't get too far into it also when I was a kid. But good pop science reference.
Oh.
You predator, you sex pest.
When she said that working around predators since she's 20 years old, I really assumed she meant old men. That's what I picked up from that.
Well, she threw it in at the end. I mean,
and it's already been established that she likes dinosaurs, which is obviously a reference to older men.
Hey, this is the second movie with Julianne Moore we've done a commentary for.
Yeah.
It's Sarah Palin with dinosaurs. That's an unwoke joke by today's standards, I would say.
Yeah.
How can a white man is she a what the his head just like spins off his body, I mean. But she's and he's he just faints. I completely missed who the bald guy is supposed to be. Is he just another? What is he?
Their security guy.
I don't think so. I was gonna say he seems like the stand-in for the lawyer guy, but he's not.
He was holding the gun, so I assumed he was the security guy. Are those Pop-Tarts? That lucky bastard. I want a stack of Pop-Tarts. That motherfucker. You know, you could tell none of these people are badasses. You want me to tell you how you know none of them are badasses? Because none of them are wearing shorts.
This is true.
True badasses.
That's something to look out for when the stand-in for Muldoon shows up. Let's see if he's wearing the shorts.
True badasses wear shorts with long socks. Not too long.
Yeah, just right. Just the right length.
Just the right amount of shin
It's like
protection.
an inch and a half beneath the knee. That's the sweet spot. I don't know why I find something annoying about this daughter character.
I find it annoying that they didn't notice the whole trip on the boat, which I assume took like a day or two.
Oh, did she sneak on?
Yeah, she snuck onto the boat.
Okay, I wasn't paying close enough attention.
In the warehouse scene, she like snuck into there. No one noticed.
Tall talk. This is all this like snip snappy dialogue that I don't think the first movie has. First movie has like funny stuff in it, but like This is trying too hard to be like Joss Whedon-esque, like clever.
This is pre-Whedon.
Is it even?
I think so.
I don't know. Wasn't Buffy around in the late 90s?
Buffy started airing in 98.
So it's right. We're we're on the cusp of Whedonisms.
But I guess this is the same year that Freaks and Geeks came out.
Is it?
Great show, that one. Judd Apatow, clever guy.
Wait, are you sure that was as early as 97? I don't think so.
It was either 97 or 98.
Really?
It was my freshman year of high school.
That seems early for that movie. When I think back to seeing this movie in the theater, I feel like I was...
97, you would have been in 8th grade, man.
I felt like I was younger for some reason, but I guess you're right. I would have been 13.
So many women have told me that.
That they would have been 13.
No, that I just don't need you right now.
See, it sounded like you're responding to me. Hopefully people are listening to this with the film on. It would be weird if they weren't.
Helicopters.
Some people do that. I don't know if we have die-hard enough fans to do something that.
If we do, feel free to tell us.
See, I don't like any podcast that much, though. Like, even podcasts that I really love, if they do a commentary, I have to watch the movie along with it. Otherwise, it's kind of like, it seems like, what's the point? But apparently some people will do that.
Did you really like DVD commentary tracks? Do you miss them? Do you wish like Netflix had an option to play the commentary?
I kind of like I've always like wanted to get into them, but never have for some reason.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've ever really watched a commentary track.
I haven't either. I've heard that like the Simpsons ones are really good.
You know, I may have like got really stoned watched the commentary track for The Matrix, but it was like more of an accident because I think it just like preloaded the commentary track and I was very stoned and too lazy to find the remote to like change
This is the Muldoon stand-in, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, is that Alan Rickman?
What? You are so face blind.
Oh, it's not Alan Rickman. Is that a Captain Kirk?
It's Pete Postlethwaite.
Imagine how much better this movie would be if it was Alan Rickman.
He's the guy in Usual Suspects who's like the right-hand man of Kaiser Soze.
Oh, right.
He's a good actor. I think he died recently. He's actually like one of the probably the better characters in this movie. He's sort of like an Ahab character. He's like obsessed with killing a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like that's his whole reason for being here, I guess. So we gotta. I can't see his legs though. Gotta see if he's got the shorts on. Look at the fucking guidebook thing he's looking at. It's kind of like pictures of different dinosaurs. Yep, that's hilarious. That's funny. That's good screenwriting.
I want to be the motorcycle guy.
The Pop-Tarts motorcycle guy. Okay, I gotta see who the screenwriter is for this. Oh, he's from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. That's sort of close to where I grew up.
Who is this guy in the cowboy hat?
I mean, there's basically like two groups of humans in this movie, I think. There's these hunters. They're all just there to like hunt dinosaurs. And then there's the scientist there too. Oh, no, he's not with the hunters, though, is he? I don't fucking know. He's a real colorful character, though.
God, I remember none of these characters.
Oh, see, they're bringing in all these different species that we didn't see in the first movie. That was supposed to be kind of the draw of this one, is like...
More dinosaurs?
Yeah,
more
just
action.
different dinosaurs. It's for all you dino heads out there.
Oh my god, this vehicle's so dumb.
Yeah, this is the one. I don't know the name of it. They probably said it. But,
this looks like they made like fucking action figures for this movie.
Oh, almost certainly did. I'm
And
sure.
like a lot of these scenes were just made for action figures, like motorcycle dino hunter, Hummer,
this is a helmet dino.
winged. It's a helmet dino. It looks like those fucking aliens in Star Wars, whose name I can't think of all of a sudden.
Oh, like Sebulba?
Yeah.
Aw, I feel bad for the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are the real victims of all these movies, really.
They never asked to be resurrected.
Yeah. Yeah, I would, like you said, like, it would have been better if David Lynch directed the first movie. I'd like to see like a Paul Verhoeven Jurassic Park, where it just like the dinosaurs just decimate everyone, or maybe like a Lars von Trier Jurassic Park.
I don't know.
Some. I mean, I think
Maybe you
Verhoeven would be better because it would be funny.
You could just get like a very beautiful Jurassic Park directed by your guy Ari, or Midsummer guy.
Ari Aster.
Yeah.
Well, I think his would be pretty dark as well.
But it would be pretty.
Yeah.
Just imagine it being.
I mean, I think Von Trier shoots a
That's true.
pretty movie if he wants. Like, I want to see like a Melancholia starring dinosaurs. Holy shit, that would be perfect.
Shorts.
He does have the shorts on.
He has shorts on. He's certified badass. None of his subordinates have shorts on. You could tell a badass because they wear shorts, even in situations that don't warrant it.
I want to say this is an Allosaurus, but I
feel bad
don't know.
for the dinosaurs. Why are there hunters? Look how sad their security guard looks.
It actually seemed like, sort of like on paper or whatever, like the elevator pitch of this movie sounds like it could be a good movie. Like, oh, there's poachers.
That scene's pretty famous.
This?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it in trailers.
Looking into the footprint.
Yeah.
Okay, this hippie cowboy does work with the hunters.
He
Then.
looks a lot like Mike Ironside to me.
Postlethwaite?
Yeah.
Michael Ironside?
Yeah, I think they look similar.
So you think Alan Rickman and Michael Ironside
Yeah.
look the same too?
No, he's like a combination of Michael Ironside and Alan Rickman.
No fucking way.
They could be like brothers.
Oh
all
shit,
three
it's
of
this
them.
guy. Fuck, what's the? I always forget this guy's name, but like, he's in like 10 Coen Brothers movies. Why can't I remember his? He's great. He's the fucking head nihilist in Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
I can never remember his name.
I don't know his name.
He's awesome. His character in Fargo is so amazing. Such a horrible piece of shit. I don't think he's ever played a nice person in a film ever. It's hard to imagine, at least.
Michael Ironside, Dinosaur Hunter.
Pete Postlethwaite.
Michael Ironside.
Respect the man, the real man. I actually haven't gotten a good look at these shorts. I'm believing you.
No, he's wearing shorts. See, you can see his knee there.
I don't see. That's the other guy. That's. Oh wait, you're right. Sorry.
No, it's actually Patrick Stewart.
You know, Patrick Stewart, Michael Ironside, and Alan Rickman all jizzed in the same cup. And then this guy was born.
Clones, man. They extracted the blood of mosquitoes to create this man. Why are there so many flies?
Because there's a decaying dinosaur corpse. Baby T-Rex. This is also a new addition to the JP-averse, as I like to call it suddenly.
The Japan verse?
Yes.
Now, this movie could have used an anime treatment.
I see. They're using him for bait. They want to get those adult T-Rexes. Spoiler alert, there's a couple, obviously.
Is there a dinosaur orgy in this one?
There should be.
A dino orgy?
There is something akin to like a threesome. I'll say that. And I want you to point out when you think it happens. Involving dinosaurs and people. Oh, God damn it. So much coffee.
What does that satellite do?
I don't know. Keep wondering aloud while I step away.
Where are they taking them? Oh, back to a mainland. Which one's the mainland?
America.
Oh, that mainland. Talkity talk talk talk. I've got screens behind me. I'm obviously important. My father created these dinosaurs and I want to get wealthier from them. I love being a CEO. I create jobs for the masses. Just creating jobs on my dino island. Everyone will work for dinosaurs in the future. Everyone already works for dinosaurs. So are they like dino whisperers? Oh God, they're freeing the animals. Terrible. SeaWorld. Citio Chargers. I feel like letting the dinosaurs out's a bad idea. Vince Vaughn.
Could be. Actually, there's more puppetry than I was expecting in this movie, which is, I'll put in the plus column.
It's still 1997.
But this was also when CG was like, every fucking movie has to have CG now. But
Did The Matrix come out in 98 or 96?
I want to say 99, actually, but maybe 98.
Maybe it was 99.
It definitely wasn't before 98.
99's that famous year of movies, right?
Yeah, I think The Matrix was part of that, possibly.
Yeah, I feel like The Matrix and Fight Club came out in the same year. And
is Fight Club 98 or 99?
I don't know. I actually love the first Matrix movie. Like, unabashedly love that movie. Rest of them, whatever. None of them are as good as Speed Racer, which is probably the best movie of my lifetime.
You mean of the Wachowskis?
Yeah. No, I mean, Speed Racer's the best movie of my lifetime. It just happened to be by the Wachowski brothers. Sisters? Brothers, sorry.
I mean, there was a time when they were called...
It's a bad habit. It's a habit from my youth.
It's not a bad habit. You're not doing it intentionally.
Wow, that Dino loves Jameson.
I was just gonna say, look at that bottle of Jameson.
So I went to my normal liquor store because I wanted to buy a bottle of Jameson the other day. This was like 3 weeks ago. I had a friend up who's having his birthday. And the liquor store real close to my house, and also the 7-Eleven that also sells liquor near me, they both told me, like the employees both told me that Korea lost its like distributor rights to Jameson, so Jameson's like disappearing from Korea completely, which kind of makes me sad. It's like an end of an era thing to me, because
I guess I didn't drink it a lot here.
I drank a lot of Jameson in Korea for some reason. It was like the cheapest good whiskey you could buy.
That's what we drank in the last film marathon. The Transformers-a-thon.
Yeah. But now we're not drinking anymore.
Which sucks.
We're preparing for the heat death of the universe.
We'll see. We'll see if we can make it through all these movies without alcohol.
His shoes are so shiny.
They are.
What is this mobilized lab?
I think you just answered your own question.
But I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
They're scientists.
I get what it is. Just seems a bit unnecessary.
It's gonna be the scene of a very what's the word I'm looking for? Suspenseful set piece, sequence, whatever, action sequence.
I imagine a dinosaur tries to eat it.
I also noticed there's a little moon roof in it, which I feel like is
foreshadowing.
Maybe somehow a tribute. Just carrying a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex.
So she's a veterinarian?
She's well, I thought she was a paleontologist, but I think she's more of like an animal behaviorist or something.
I'll see.
Because she talked about like when she said the thing about being around predators, she was like, I've been around cheetahs and tigers and all this shit.
A dino whisperer. Oh, it turns out the kid's really smart.
Well, or she's using common sense. I mean, I think it's safe to assume there's a baby dinosaur. There must be a parent dinosaur possibly nearby. I like Julianne Moore, so it's like it's extra annoying to see her playing such an annoying character. It's like a shame. Is it? Exact sound from the first movie. Give me more morphine. I'm the one watching this movie.
I could go for some morphine. Delicious morphine.
I watched a movie last night that I had managed to avoid seeing until last night.
Which movie?
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh, I saw that a long time ago.
And, yeah, they mentioned morphine in that movie because the old lady is, like, dying, and they're like, you can have as much morphine as you want. And I was just watching it jealously. Drugs must need drugs. Ugh. That's kind of stupidly funny. Also, I find it really annoying when characters chew gum as like an affect. It's really annoying. The characters in movies who chew gum while smoking or while like drinking things really grosses me out as well.
I got in trouble once for chewing gum while teaching.
Well,
apparently
at least you weren't
unprofessional.
Drinking like milk or something, which I feel like I've seen in a movie. In Korea?
Yeah. Honestly, though, it was
I mean, like, it's probably because the kids aren't supposed to.
It was nicotine gum. They didn't know it was nicotine gum. I was chewing it because I was trying to quit smoking. And they don't have nicotine lozenges here. Which sucks. I miss nicotine lozenges.
Jesus, that's a bad line. This really is just like a lesser replay of that flawless T-Rex introductory scene in the first one. Everything about it seems sequelized to me.
Don't move. They see movement.
I was gonna say, like, I'm trying to like think of like sort of almost excuses for this movie, but it's like you don't have to make a sequel. But then I think about that, and it's like by the laws of.
Well, my instant problem with this movie, the first movie, I felt like there was reasons for what's happening, and I've not been like sold on any reasons for any of this happening.
Well, they do. To be fair, they do set it up but they set it up by adding this shit that wasn't mentioned at all in the first movie. Like, there's a whole other island filled with dinosaurs that we didn't tell you about before, and you have to like go in as like some sort of like rescue mission, I guess was the idea. See, I'm not even clear on it now what their real mission is anymore. And then it gets all confused up with like the poachers or whatever. I think the poaching angle is like the only interesting
they were sent
angle.
To stop the poachers, right? To stop the poachers.
I don't think so.
I have no fucking clue.
No, I think they were supposed to go in like purely as like a scientific like survey or something to see why the animals are thriving again. Like, because Goldblum said to Attenborough, Hammond, old man, he's like, oh, but the lysine thing, shouldn't they all be dead? He's like, oh, but it's amazing, they're not. Like, that's part of what I want you to figure out. So it's supposed to just be like a science thing. I think the poachers are incidental. Like, they weren't, unless I missed something, which I might have.
Well, Hammond's son is the one who sent the poachers here because he wants to get the dinosaurs and take them to the San Diego Zoo.
Oh, is that really what's going on?
Because what's the point of having a park on an island when you could just put the park on the mainland?
That's hilarious. I didn't even catch any of that. Well, then it's a side thing that the main poacher we'll call him
Michael
Alan
Ironside.
Alan Rickman Ironside.
God, what a great last name. I wish my last name was Ironside. Not Newland.
You know what's funny about Ironside?
What?
Is that so like you'd think maybe, oh, Michael Ironside, if someone told you that's a stage name, you would go, oh, well, what's his real last name? And you'd be mistaken in thinking he changed his last name. His real last name is Ironside, but he changed his name to Michael from like another normal name.
John Ironside.
Yeah, he's like John Ironside by birth, and he's like, if I'm going to be in movies, I should be Michael Ironside.
I get it.
It's just totally unintuitive. Like you would think, see, this is all just recall of the first movie. And this is actually like this is like a decent action scene. Like the idea of this, flipped over trailer lab thing with the glass about to break. It's all fine, but like it's just so much like it's like a cover band, like doing the first movie or something.
Sure.
Which I guess is what a lot of sequels are, but you just hope for better. And I think I was saying to you before we were actually watching any of these,
Like good sequels. Terminator 2 is a good sequel.
Maybe one of the best. I prefer it to the first movie.
I like them both a lot, but you know what I think makes it a good sequel? It's obviously a continuation of the first movie, but it almost takes on a different genre.
It has a totally different vibe.
Whereas like the first movie's a horror sci-fi movie, the second one's an action sci-fi, but they're connected, and like that the build-up works, maybe because it's time travel, so it's easier to connect it. But I do think sequels actually succeed better when sequels for movies that obviously weren't like designed with the original intent of being like a series. But work better when the sequel is in ways a different genre. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, I was gonna say it's like it's weird because James Cameron did Aliens, which is like a total genre
it's amazing.
departure but it's compared to the first movie.
Yeah, because the first movie actually is almost the same Terminator thing.
I was gonna say it's the same thing as Terminator 1 and 2 with aliens and Alien and Aliens.
I'm a weirdo where I like Aliens better than Alien, but I think it's just because I prefer action movies to horror movies.
I've always kind of been on that tip as well, because part of that might be like seeing them as kids. Like as a kid, you just want more of that like fun action shit instead of all the like the first Alien movie is like atmospheric horror basically.
I hope CGV, if I'm still here this Halloween, I hope CGV does the same horror fest they did last year, because last year they played like Aliens 1 and 2 back and back, and I didn't get to go see it, and I really want to go see those in theater.
I wouldn't be surprised
and Korean theaters are so good, like at least compared to any theaters. The Seoul theaters are much better than what I had in Johnson City, Tennessee growing up.
I think part of that is just being in a big city. Like I think if we lived in New York, there's a lot of retrospective like movies being played like in theaters around the city there.
That's true.
Like there are here though, like constantly you can see old movies in the movie theater. Like even I mean the thing is the movie theaters never closed during coronavirus. Like not maybe they did early on, but they've basically been open the whole time.
They've had weird restrictions here for them.
I went, what did I see? I saw something. I've been to the theater like once or twice, maybe 3 times.
I haven't been at all. It's actually weird for me because movies is something I've always like kind of done in theaters, but I don't think I've been to a single movie since coronavirus. Which is maybe why I haven't been watching many movies this year, because I'm actually much more likely to go see movies in theaters. And I was real sad. I always loved the Incheon Film Festival, and I think this is the first year that I didn't go to the Incheon Film Festival while being in Korea, which is really sad.
Never been.
It's
I know the Busan one is famous. More famous.
The Incheon one's my favorite. Busan's definitely the most famous, but the Incheon one they always is their specific is horror and sci-fi, and they usually do a lot of like either really like just out there sci-fi and horror movies. It's just fun. What was the name of that movie? I saw that. I just saw a lot of good stuff at them. But yeah, definitely. If they have it this year, I think it was canceled this year because of coronavirus. But the next time they do a Chub Film Festival, man, you should definitely try to go. If you want to go, you could go. We do a podcast on the street. We get press tickets. Can we get press tickets?
That would be funny.
Now, I haven't been to the Busan Film Festival, so maybe I'm prejudging it. But I've been to the Jeonju and the Incheon one. The Jeonju Film Festival is really good too. The Busan one, I feel like, has always been bad for my schedule.
I like that it's called Biff. Because it just makes me think of Back to the Future. But yeah, in Seoul, they're always playing old movies, like always. Like, just,
yeah,
I've seen like I get to see the first Coen Brothers movie in theater here, which was awesome. Blood Simple, and
I don't remember.
I saw 3 David Lynch movies. They had like an ongoing Lynch series for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, my friend Jordan did that too. He went to
It was awesome. It's the only movie I'd seen in the theater. I had seen Mulholland Drive and I'd seen Inland Empire, but I never saw any of the older ones before that. So I got to see Fire Walk with Me, which was amazing. I was going to say
Jordan went and saw Fire Walk with Me, which made me a little jealous.
It was so cool to see that in the theater. You guys were probably
at the same theater.
And then saw Mulholland Drive again, and then Lost Highway, and Eraserhead. They had Eraserhead too, which was great.
Lost Highway I loved that soundtrack when I was a kid.
I remember the soundtrack being a big deal, and that Nine Inch Nails video was on all the time on MTV. When I saw the movie again, I hadn't seen it for like years probably. Like, there are parts where he uses Rammstein, whatever.
Yeah.
In the soundtrack, and it's so weirdly effective, but it almost made me laugh just because there's something kind of funny about how aggressive Rammstein sounds or something. Maybe just because of the German language. I don't know. I just remember at one point, like, kind of laughing, like, it was maybe towards the end of that movie where there's all that, like, fucking like Marilyn Manson and the other guy from his band are in that movie for a second, like in like the pretend, like the fake porn movie.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson, hey, fuck. Remember what I said about the threesome? This is what I was referring to.
Oh, yeah.
They just shared that guy.
Some real human caterpillar shit there.
See, that's cool, but then also that looks... Terrible. I'm going to be a real snob about this. That's too CGI. They should have done a real fucking explosion. I mean, it would have been way more dangerous and cost a lot more money, and they would have probably had to do it like 3 times to get the shot right. But come on, man. Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park money.
This isn't Mission Impossible. You can't expect good practical effects.
This isn't Mission Impossible. This is just the most popular filmmaker of all time doing a follow-up to maybe one of the most popular movies ever made.
I know I've probably talked about it on the podcast. I know we've talked about it. But I'm always amazed by how good the Mission Impossible films are. Speaking of action movies.
They've just gotten better, is what I would say.
And they're all good, though.
Second one's not good.
Really, I like the second one actually.
I don't know. I think it's probably the worst one though, relatively. I feel like I kind of rewatched them all somewhat recently.
So did I.
And I think like the 4th, 5th, and 6th ones are the best of all of them.
I agree with that, actually.
The third one is good mainly because Philip Seymour Hoffman is the villain. And the second one was John Woo, but it was like John Woo at his most excessive John Wooiest. Like getting his like big time Hollywood money movie. And I think that ruined him though. Like he had to retreat back to Hong Kong after that one, I think. John Woo's best movie is Face Off. There, I said it. Although I've actually never seen his Hong Kong films, which I've heard are really great as well.
I'm sure
Oh, wait, is that the brother? That's not the brother, is it? He's the same accent.
Whose brother?
Hammond's brother.
His son. I thought it was his son.
Oh, sorry, son. You're right.
Yeah, that's his son.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just realized
that's his son.
him.
He was on the island earlier talking about getting the dinosaurs and taking them to the San Diego Zoo.
I wasn't listening. We've been talking over everything.
I think you were in the bathroom, actually.
I might have been, too.
You were in the bathroom because I was making stupid jokes about how dinosaurs are going to rule the mainland, but how they already do because the CEOs are dinosaurs because they're old.
She just said the Rexes. Come on. Don't call them Rexes.
Should I get a cowboy hat? Should I grow my beard out like that man and my hair out and that could be my image? Just really long curly hair.
I have a feeling your school might start giving you weird looks at the very least.
If I showed up and like always taught in a cowboy hat.
I think the long hair would be the biggest
Not the cowboy hat
problem. Really.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Whenever I've like kind of let my hair grow a little bit longer, not even super long, and then when I get it cut, like I can I've heard my coworkers and bosses like with relief be like, "Oh, haircut, finally, good."
Yeah, I got kind of the same thing recently because my hair had gotten pretty long, and I just cut it like past week or so, 2 weeks or so.
Your hair was never that long though.
It was long enough to where that got some of those comments.
Really?
Yeah,
That's weird to me, man. I don't know if the T-Rex is the greatest predator that ever lived.
that's definitely the shark.
I was going to say it's some sort of sea creature.
It's definitely the shark.
Just shark, period, in general.
I mean, from what I understand.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's, like, lemon sharks, and then there's, like, great whites, and then there's those prehistoric sharks.
Did you ever hear about the time that the boys from Led Zeppelin made one of their groupies have sex with a shark?
I have heard that classic, weirdly abusive story. Led Zeppelin were, like, fucking monsters.
Apparently, like, whole like tangent here, but I guess there was a tour where they were touring with David Bowie and like Jimmy Page like just like scared the shit out of David Bowie like to a point where David Bowie was like, I can't travel with these guys, they fucking freak me out.
Why? What did he do?
I don't know. I think they did like
underage girls stuff.
No, it was something about Jimmy Page was like, I mean, I guess really into cult stuff, but like he kept like doing all this like fake demon summoning
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
to,
he was like really into Aleister Crowley. And shit like
but he was,
that.
but he like started emphasizing it a lot to like freak Bowie out. Like I think like he was into the stuff, but like for some reason he just got it in his head it'd be fun to just like fuck with Bowie.
That's kind of funny, actually. Bowie is so much cooler. Although apparently, the internet has been saying and I'll admit I probably haven't looked into it because I just don't want to know.
Bowie had some problems.
Yeah, people are like Bowie's a predator and all this stuff.
But I mean, this is not a defense of Bowie, but 70s and rock stars was just a fucking weird culture. And
I think to me it's more of a comparative thing because like Jimmy Page literally like kidnapped like a 13-year-old girl and made her live with him for like years. Like kept her as a fucking sex slave in his house. Like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, really fucked up shit. And he's never paid any price for it. Like he's still like, you know,
He's dead now, isn't he?
no, he's not dead.
Whoa, really? I had no clue. I just assumed.
No, only the drummer from Led Zeppelin is dead. Maybe the bassist died.
I haven't got around to it, but a lot of people have told me, have you heard of the Disgraceland podcast?
It sounds familiar, but I've never heard
I guess
it.
it's like a podcast that's all about just like all of these fucking like rock and roll legends, but it's supposed to be like really good if you're like into true crime like shit. I've been meaning to check it out because I've had like, I don't know, I've some people I know who they've compared to like Train and like, but some other stuff too. But it's just like really focused on just like telling fucked up stories about rock stars.
Plenty of those to go around. Although I think a lot of them are probably like all kind of the same. It's like,
But a lot of it's about also demystifying them, I guess.
okay.
Like separating the legend part or the from the these are the small ones that like to eat
compies.
that like to eat people down to their bones. This should have been a trauma film.
Keep thinking of this actor's name. It's like not materializing in my head right away.
Did you ever go through a trauma film phase?
No. I saw one trauma movie and I thought it was fucking stupid.
See, I got really into them for a bit, but I got really into B movies for a bit, and you can't really get into B movies without getting...
I like B movies that don't know that they're B movies. I like Neil Breen type shit.
Yeah.
Trauma is just like the self-conscious B movie, like Sharknado, that kind of shit.
Trauma is definitely better than Sharknado, but yes, I get what you're saying. I like both.
Well, the first Sharknado movie supposedly was meant to be like
A movie.
a real movie, and then people laughed at it, and they were just like, oh, we can turn this into a thing. So they made like 7 more of them, and they got... I think I watched a bunch of them, and they just get worse and worse and more unwatchable because they're just... all it is like self-conscious, like B-movie shit.
My favorite of the trauma movies is Surf Nazis Must Die.
I've only seen Tromeo and Juliet, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I don't really remember anything about it
I mean,
other than that it was...
that one's not very good.
Yeah.
I mean, that one's classic. In my opinion, the trauma movie's worth watching. Well, Surf Nazis Must Die is my favorite, but if you were to ever go and watch any just to like get a sense of how good trauma can be, it's probably Toxic Avenger. Like
I've heard that. This is a little more
See Poison now?
I don't think they're poisonous. Maybe they are. I don't think they are though. I think they just hunt in packs.
Where's his machine gun? I feel like he could just kick them around.
He dropped it when he fell, I think. Or he set everything down because he was about to piss. Anyway, whatever. He's going to die soon. I want to say his name is Pete or something, but that's the other guy, Pete Postlethwaite. This is one of the rare movies where he plays like... where it feels like he's playing like an actual American guy. Usually he seems like vaguely European in movies.
I hate that this other motherfucker's wearing shorts because he's clearly not a badass.
But he's got the safari gear on.
Shorts are only for badasses.
This is the new rule of cinema.
The world I live in, only badasses wear shorts. And the more pockets your shorts have, the more badass you are, to be quite honest.
It's going to drive me insane if I don't figure out this guy's name.
I mean, if you live in my world, man, everyone's just fucking Michael Ironside.
I keep wanting to say David Strathairn, and that is so not right.
I feel like he's panicking, and this is not helping his cause. You can't.
It was Strathairn, I thought, and I was right about Peter. Peter Stormare, that's his name. Oh, he's supposed to be vaguely German in this as well. His character name is Dieter. Dieter Stock. The second in command of the InGen harvesters under the control of Roland Trembo, who is fake Michael Ironside.
I have a hard time being afraid of these small little creatures.
I know they can be called compies for short. I just can't remember what their full dinosaur name is.
Can't you just kick them?
Well, that's the whole point is that they're like wolves, man, or not sharks, dolphins or killer whales. They're hunting in packs.
Piranhas.
Piranhas probably, yeah.
Do piranhas hunt in packs? I really don't know if they do or not.
Yeah, actually, piranhas is a better comparison because they're small and they can just still overwhelm bigger things.
Let's carry on. Up to it.
I want to know if this guy is really British or not.
Chop chop.
Because I feel like he's doing some sort of fake British accent, but I have a feeling I'm going to find out that he is actually British. And that I'm just being weird.
Is that the second in command glasses guy? Is that Selmy or whatever from Hook?
We've talked about this before. We've talked about who Smee, not Sammy. Smee.
Yeah, Sammy.
It's Bob Hoskins from Roger Rabbit, dude.
That's Bob Hoskins, right?
In this movie? I think he was probably dead by the time this movie came out.
Nah, this movie came out like the same year as Hook. And Hook came out when I was much younger.
Hook was actually the same. I believe Hook was honestly the same year as
JR.
Jurassic Park. JP.
Yeah, JR.
Those are my initials.
Jurassic Rex.
I'm gonna look it up because I think that Hook, Jurassic Park, and Schindler's List all were 93, all Spielberg.
Wasn't Disney supposed to come out with a new movie starring Rufio recently?
Really?
Like a continuation of Hook, or did I make that up?
It seems like something you might have dreamt, but it also could very well be real.
I really thought they were going to make some gritty adaptation sequel to Hook, like modern day, only it's like adult Rufio, and Rufio's like the bad guy.
That sounds like an SNL sketch or a Mad TV sketch or something.
I don't know, man. Disney has all these like gritty like villain movies coming out now.
Disney does?
Yeah, like
the Cruella de Vil thing.
Well, yeah, but they had like Maleficent, and they had
Maleficent. Yeah, that is gritty reboot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, I was right. That guy is American. He's doing a fake British accent.
Cheerio.
His name is Arliss
The
Howard.
British people don't even say Cheerio, do they?
Probably not in the last 50 years.
Cheerios are not delicious. When I think of delicious cereals, Cheerios is not top of the list.
What about Honey Nut?
Oh, Honey Nut Cheerios. Those are fantastic. Actually, yesterday Yesterday, Yane moved over near Seoul Forest, and she lives near a shop that sells cinnamon toast crunch milkshakes. It's really bad for me because every time I'm near her house, so it's like right across the street. First thing I noticed as I was walking there, I was like, their side, my eyes just stared at it. It's like cinnamon toast crunch milkshakes, and they have like a giant box of cinnamon toast crunch. I was like, well, guess I'm having one of those every time I come over. I'm just going to get fatter and fatter this year as I only consume cinnamon toast crunch milkshakes. It kind of makes Yame mad though because she hates cinnamon, and I'm just like dragging cinnamon into her house. Like I bought two yesterday. Put one in her freezer. I was like, just keep that there for me. I'll need it later.
I gotta say, I would rather have a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, but I've never had one of these milkshakes, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, actually, I would be down with the cereal too, but they don't sell a bowl of cereal. Okay,
you should just ask them. Like,
so,
can you save some milk and just give?
Could you put the Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the side,
or just give me a box? Yeah. How much do you want for it?
I've got money. I mean,
that means you must be able to get it here somewhat easily.
It's not that easy. I mean, you can get it here though. There's a not that far from us, but over near the big record store in Taiwan.
I feel like we haven't talked about the movie for like an hour.
It's just nothing's happening.
There's a lot of stuff happening, but
I've been watching mostly like it's just
no, it's just funny that like
it's generic fucking action movie shit.
I know, but I'm just I'm just laughing at the fact that we're waxing poetic about Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What the hell's wrong with
while this T-Rex is his head in a tent?
I do think that's the problem with this movie though. They're like, I don't care about any of these characters. I think that's the thing. Like, the hunters.
Yeah, they're despicable. You're not supposed to like them. And Jeff Goldblum is like, he's not a sincere character. He's like the ironic kind of, like, you like him, you don't want him to die, but like Julianne Moore's character and the daughter, I honestly don't care if they get eaten.
Yeah, like I'd like to like the daughter, but I think maybe she needed another kid to play off of. For the movie to be better.
I want to say the big missing piece is what we said right up top. No Dr. Grant, no
yeah, no, that's a
Laura
big
Dern.
thing. But even had they been placed in this movie, I don't know how they would have improved what's happening in the movie. Because, like, I guess there's nothing that makes me care about anything that's happening in this movie.
Yeah, this is kind of textbook sequelitis. Like, I don't know. It's almost it is kind of hard to put your finger on what's so different from this and the first one. I mean, other than maybe it's not that hard, but because the plot is like almost the same in a way. It's just like dinosaurs run away from dinosaurs, and then they add in this element of like humans having conflict with each other, which also happens in the first one too, though, because the stuff with like the sabotaging and the stealing and whatever. This part, I remember this scene. You get some French kissing action.
The motives were better in the first one, though. Even like Newman, say the sabotager. I guess Newman was the person who sabotaged in the first one. He had motives, selfish motives, but like,
I mean, this is just egregious. This is like,
oh, he's got a real snake, real predator on him.
He's gonna get eaten because of that, though. Dumbass.
Would have been funny had the T-Rex ate him, and the snake crawled into the T-Rex, bit the T-Rex, and the T-Rex falls over a few seconds later from the snake bite, and the snake crawls out of the mouth.
That would have to be a very poisonous snake. So like this action sequence, so this is where we get back into raptor territory, the long grass. So there are some kind of clever action ideas. Like this is
Yeah.
a decent idea of like the overhead shots where you can see where the fucking raptors are and where the
Very
people are.
reminiscent of Apocalypse Now to me for some reason.
Did they do that in Apocalypse Now? I can't remember.
I feel like there's a scene in Apocalypse Now that's similar to this. I haven't seen it in a long time though.
Francis Ford Coppola, and see, that's a cool shot.
Yeah. That's one of the iconic shots for this movie.
Yeah, I think so. It's actually one of the few things I remember about seeing this movie in the theater was this whole scene.
No, that's a good movie. Apocalypse Now is just like a fucking masterpiece.
Great movie. I assume you've seen the documentary.
I haven't. I've always heard it's really good though.
It's very good.
I've always meant to. Like I've heard from
I didn't see
various
it.
people.
I didn't see it finally until like less than a year ago, probably. But it's good.
One of my favorite.
It actually was almost a little too overhyped, but it's good.
One of my favorite documentaries randomly is have you ever seen Schmidt? About the documentary about Felix the Cat? The artist for Felix the Cat. Highly recommend that documentary. I watched it the past year or so, just kind of randomly. I was like, holy shit, this is stupidly
Schmidt?
good. Yeah, I think it's called Schmidt. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. It just makes me think of the movie Crumb.
I've seen that.
David Lynch produced that. It's like David Lynch is always just like a secondary subject in all conversations.
David Lynch produced me. That's not true. I wish that was true. I wish David Lynch was my long absent father.
His son is like grown up now, and I think I heard his son is doing, lucky bastard, can do whatever he wants.
Marvel movies.
He's no.
Faye's been disappointed his father.
He's doing something like very what you would expect David Lynch's son to do.
I mean,
like he's probably making movies. I can't remember what it was. He's either making music or movies, one of the two, I think.
He's making movies with Cronenberg's son.
Man, did I tell you about the Cronenberg son movie?
Did you watch it? Was it bad or?
I wanted it to be good. It's fine. It's worth watching, but like, it was a case of like, as soon as it was done, like, I forgot everything that happened. It's like, I can't even tell you what the plot was. I can't picture anyone's face in it. I mean, I think they were kind of unknown actors anyway. See, in this shit, it could be interesting too if this movie was a good movie. Like seeing like
Wait, he's on the original island now?
It must be. But when did that happen, right?
How did they get there?
I don't know. See, I think we missed something crucial. But or not. I don't know. I don't understand. Actually, in the fourth movie, the reboot, there's a scene like this where they find like the old ruins of the original place.
Yeah, I remember that. I've seen the fourth one. I think I've seen both the new movies, but like I did not pay much attention to either of them.
I saw the fourth one in a theater, and I was excited to see it because I was just hoping irrationally that it was going to be like a return to like the childlike wonder of the first one, and you could see how it was trying to be, but it just, I don't know. Some things you just can't fucking repeat, so just leave it alone.
I think it got there for children at least.
No,
it didn't get there for children even.
It might have. That's what I wondered too. Was like, oh, I guess like if kids see this at like the age that I saw Jurassic Park, like maybe they'll like it. I mean, I don't know though. I know some students of mine really like the Jurassic World movies. But that's just the thing is the magic of the movies when you're a kid. I don't know. But that's the thing too, is like I think like people like my parents' age, they probably don't have the same sort of attachment to, say, the first Jurassic Park movie that you and I might. But I bet they still can consider it a good movie, like a well-made classic movie, right? But like nobody's gonna think that about Jurassic fucking World, like ever. No one's gonna be like, wow, look at the craftsmanship of this classic timeless movie. It's like, no, this was just like a cash grab trying to recreate, trying to it was exactly targeted at me, and I fell for it in a way. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll check out Jurassic World. It's got Lauren Lapkus in it for some reason. I like her. She's a funny person. That movie actually made a shit ton of money. The one after it, I think, was considered a big flop, though. Even though I think they're like
They're making another one.
Yeah, that's what's gonna have like the
original cast. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
It's supposed to come out like in another year from now or something.
I kind of want like not nostalgia to go away. I realize nostalgia can never go away.
There's no way she lives from that.
Even though. Well, this is a whole another topic.
I'm the most fearsome predator on the planet. I'm just gonna keep biting this backpack instead of the walking meal that's around me.
This is the Jurassic Park movie where they drive cars, right? I mean, the raptors drive cars.
There was that shot in the first movie in the otherwise really great scene in the kitchen with the kids and the raptors where you see the raptor's claw like opening the door.
Yeah.
And I almost laughed out loud at that. But like
as a kid, I thought that was one of the cooler
No,
things.
exactly, because it's like, oh, they're learning, or like it's showing like they're so smart or whatever.
They're like cats.
But it did look suddenly really funny to me. But no, I just thought of that because you just imagine them driving. Oh man, there's something really funny in the third movie. I won't spoil it, but it sort of reminds me of the idea of raptors doing more human things.
Oh, that's where they're flying airplanes, right?
You're actually not. I mean, you're far off, but you're kind of on the right track in a weird way. I'll let you tell me when you think the moment arises.
Do any of these movies have pterodactyls?
Yeah, the third one.
Okay, cool.
It is cool, actually.
I like pterodactyls.
Actually, and that was the thing about the fourth one too, is they had a bunch of different flying dinos, like, but they used them in such a, I don't know. We'll get there eventually. See, this is so similar to the kitchen scene. This is like, I bet if you like mapped this movie on top of the first movie, the scenes like come at the same time. Basically, like this is about the time where the kids are like in the kitchen, and it shows them doing like humanish things. Like the humans are digging, the raptors are digging. They're all using their hands. But somehow it's just totally without impact. I don't know what it is.
The movie, for me, I don't think this movie's ever done any setup to make me care about the characters.
That must be the big difference.
The first movie actually makes you care about the characters. Like, it's small stuff, but like... So, like, they could have, like, not had Sam and Laura in the movie, but what they did with Sam and Laura is they made them people. Like, they're scientists, they had jobs, they had the wonder of, like, seeing real dinosaurs. They had their, like, on-off-again relationship. But, like, you got to know the characters. You knew Sam didn't like kids, but it turns out that he actually did like kids. I mean...
yeah,
stupid gymnast
dude,
stuff.
this was the part I was talking about. This was the part that made me... I think I laughed at this in the theater. Because they allude to her like taking like gymnastics classes or something earlier.
Yeah.
And
her dad's like, what? Wow, she's got a strong kick.
Yeah, it's a little... Oh, poor dinosaur. Stupid gymnast kid. come on. This movie is making me turn my back on Goldblum. Wait, he's got all these really bad one-liners.
I don't know. I feel like just a little more like character work. They could have like made this into a fine movie. Like,
I think Spielberg was kind of asleep at the wheel on this.
there's nothing to like make you care about the girlfriend. She's just annoying scientist girlfriend.
Well, in her
And it's motherfucking Julianne Moore. She could have played like a good part.
yeah, it's not her acting that's the problem. It's like that's why
The cast is good.
I meant to look up the screenwriter and I got sidetracked. But I mean, I guess there is some sort of arc with her as well, because she's like super naive about like animals in the beginning, right? She's like touching the dinosaurs and like trying to heal them and shit, and then now she has to like fight them. But like this scenes like this are just stupid. That scene with the backpack was really dumb, really annoying.
Also, this, are we in the third act? We might not even be in the third act yet, but this third act is reminding me a lot more of like a Marvel movie third act than the third act of the first Jurassic Park movie.
I think because of the sense that this movie's third act is like...
It's supposed to be bigger.
Well, it's long. There's... I don't know when you would say the third act starts. I would say it's when
they're walking through the field and the raptors are pulling them off. That's like the end of the second act, right? With the
I was going to say we're not even quite to the third act yet.
Oh, I was thinking this was the
This
third
movie
act.
is actually longer than the first movie.
Okay.
We're getting there, though.
This seems like the end to me.
Well,
but I guess it's
remember, you remembered correctly. There's a scene where dinosaurs are off the island in a city, and we haven't gotten there yet.
That's a good point.
Which is actually maybe the only payoff of this. Like, I think I remember when I saw this in the theater.
I remember the trailers on like TV making me think that the whole thing was going to be set like on dinosaurs like coming out of the ocean.
I think they sort of misled. I think they probably misled people that way, because what I remember kind of walking out of the theater thinking that was boring, but I don't really know why. Like, I couldn't express why. But then I remember also thinking it was kind of cool to see the T-Rex like walking down in a suburban street. Or I think it's supposed to be in like San Diego or something.
I feel like
He didn't get to kill it though. He wanted to kill it.
I feel like I basically saw this movie and Starship Troopers in the same like month in theaters, but I guess
it was the same year. You're right.
Because I remember I fucking loved Starship Troopers. And I didn't even get like how I love it more as an adult than I did in middle school.
Did you get all the irony and shit, or did you just like it as an action movie?
I just fucking liked it as an
That's
action
funny,
movie.
Actually, because
I picked up on some of the irony. I did not get it like I get it now, to be honest.
I didn't even see it until I heard about how it was, until I understood what Verhoeven was all about later.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, oh, that looks like the dumbest movie ever. And I just didn't even want to see it. But then I heard, oh no, it's like actually a, like a satire of like, and it's like, it's basically like a, what a fascist propaganda movie would look like in the future. But done purposely, so like in a critical way.
Like I was saying earlier, my mom, I know I ended up seeing it with my mom and my friend Tony because she'd always take us to movies. And Tony was a bit like you, as in, he's one of my best friends back home, but his parents were crazy religious and never let him watch movies and shit. But like, as I was saying earlier, my mom was like super into like cult classics and stuff. But
yeah, and you were like my best friend.
Yeah. And she was like really into Verhoeven. Like, she loved RoboCop. And like, maybe she explained it to us some. I don't remember, but I remember watching it and being like, this movie's fucking awesome.
Okay, man, this might explain a lot. I've never actually seen this movie, but this guy who wrote the screenplay for this... Oh, wait, though. Hang on. He wrote the first Jurassic Park as well. But he also wrote Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oof.
And hang on.
That was a movie
He wrote
really
the first
wanted to
Mission
like.
Impossible movie. He wrote the first Spider-Man movie, which I don't care about those. I don't really like those Spider-Man movies.
See, I love the first. I
was too cynical by the time they came out. I don't know. Like I thought they looked boring, and I just never. He also wrote, one of your favorites, Premium Rush.
I do like Premium
But
Rush.
he also wrote a piece of shit like Mordecai.
I've never even heard of that.
Stir of Echoes, Secret Window. Oh, he's written some bad movies.
Wow, he wrote Premium Rush?
And Premium Rush.
That seems really... It's interesting.
And Carlito's Way, which I've never seen.
I mean... I'm not going to say Premium Rush is a good movie, but I love cycling. And and it actually is kind of cool.
I remember the movies. It's a good like boilerplate like.
It's fun.
Thriller might be too strong of a word, but it's like a movie that's got like a clock on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's just fun.
And Michael Shannon is a great villain.
Yeah.
I'll watch him in anything.
And I like that. That fucking actor. Third Rock.
Gordon Levitt.
Yeah, I like Levitt. I usually like his movies.
Yeah, he's fine. This screenwriter though, he's done a lot. He did this Dolph Lundgren movie in 1990 called I Come in Peace. That's like a really hilariously bad movie where Dolph Lundgren plays an alien who comes to Earth, and it's just like it just turns into like a cop.
Is this like a giant dinosaur? Like bigger than a T-Rex?
No.
That's what I remember in my head is like there's a dinosaur even bigger than a T-Rex that shows up at the end of this movie.
No, you're thinking of the fourth movie.
Oh, okay.
This one doesn't bring in anything like that. This is just the T-Rex on the ship. And for some reason it's crashing into this thing. Oh, because the T-Rex has probably eaten the entire crew. Killed the crew, I'm guessing.
Have you ever been on one of like Navy battleships in your lifetime? I had a good friend that was in the Navy, and I like went to I went to visit him when
Does the one at the War Memorial down the street count?
Yeah, sure.
I've been on that. I mean, it's pretty small compared to
I was
something
on like
this.
one of the giant like air cruisers when I was in Virginia visiting my friend, and
while it was like at sea,
while it was ported, it was just insane how massive it was. I was like, in my head, I knew they were massive. I was like, holy shit, this is like bigger than their city that I grew up in or whatever.
Yeah.
The Raptors are selling the ship.
God. I think there was only T-Rex on the ship, though. Hey, it's a callback to the first movie. God damn.
So is Little Hammond? That's what I'm going to call the son.
Oh, I also realized he's the nephew of John Hammond. He's not the son.
Is Little Hammond, nephew Hammond, is he going to get charged any type of like penalties?
I mean, I don't remember, but I would be shocked if he doesn't get eaten in this movie. It seems like he's bound to be eaten. But maybe I feel like he's in the later movies as well, so I'm not sure. Oh, no, he's not. Actually, John Hammond's brother does make an appearance in one of the reboots, either the fourth or fifth one. See, here's the other problem. Goldblum, as much as I like Goldblum and even like the character of Ian Malcolm, trying to make Ian Malcolm this kind of lead action guy, that doesn't work.
Yeah,
it just doesn't fucking work.
I'd actually think Goldblum could be fine at playing a lead action guy.
But not as this character.
Had him playing it completely different. Yeah.
And also, I don't know if he could be really. Like, he is such a persona as, like, he's sort of like effete, even though he's like...
Even though he's a muscular dude.
I mean,
tall.
but you know what I mean? Like, he's...
No, I do. He's always like... For some reason, they always have him play the nerdy Jew.
Basically that, yeah. Like... And I think the word is effete.
Or the sex addict Jew, if you've ever watched... You've seen The Fly, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe I watched that movie as a kid. I've rewatched it since as an adult a few times. But as a kid, I never picked up on all the sex addict stuff that was in that movie. Because, like, there's a big portion of that movie is all about him being addicted to sex.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, though.
That's so damn good. I mean...
You know what movie I've got marked down on
here, but it's Cronenberg's best.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'd have to think about it more, but I've never seen Dead Ringers.
I haven't either. I should watch that.
I've got it on Watcha. It's on the Korean Netflix.
Videodrome's probably his best. But.
I was gonna say I think I might like Videodrome more than The Fly.
I love The Fly though. I mean, they're both very good.
I'm trying to think Cronenberg movies now. He's actually done a lot of movies that aren't quite so good.
Yeah, I know. Like the I actually thought the video game one wasn't that good, even though I really wanted to like it.
Existence.
Yeah.
That movie is... Yeah, it's like you want to like it, but it kind of sucks. It's just too... It's like a Cronenberg parody or something.
Yeah, there's moments where it's just too on the nose or something.
Like the fucking bone gun or whatever, the teeth gun. It's like the most memorable thing about that movie in my mind. And it's just like funny. Like it just... See, this was like the best part of the movie, I think. It was putting them in a different kind of environment like this. And they could have, if like half the movie had been like this, I think it would have been way better.
Maybe it would have just been too expensive.
I mean, they're not using any puppet.
Could a T-Rex easily walk through a brick wall like that?
I don't think so. I think also they would just maybe walk over it. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe they could. I don't think they could though.
I mean, I always wonder, and I wonder this because I've never read any real science, like read the real details of like paleontology or whatever, but how behavior of these kind of animals is arrived at. You know what I mean? Like apparently the if you don't move they can't see you thing is been debunked, but it's like also how, I don't know, like I could see like how you figure out what they were eating, and maybe like you can deduce like how their hunting behavior would be. But like, I don't know. It took like a relatively long time for scientists even to realize that like the majority of dinosaurs were covered in feathers. Although I guess that's not the easiest thing to figure out when you're just looking at fossils either. Apparently now that's like the prevailing idea though, is like not just the raptors, but like all of them were feathery.
Oh, poor bulldog.
See, again, this is such a blatant reference to the goat.
Yeah.
I don't mind like a good couple winking references, but like this whole movie is just that. It's that fucking command. They're breaking that commandment. Don't remind me of the better movie while I'm watching the shittier movie. I mean, I know, of course, you're going to think about the first movie a little bit, but like with all the direct references, it's just like they did it better in the first one.
A much better sequel would have actually been like a sequel where they would have not done this because it would have been a blockbuster material, but if they'd done a sequel about all the legal ramifications and like really focused on that side,
that's what
the world.
They get into a little of that in the third movie, a little bit. Little bit. No, they get into it in
Do they also get into like
I think they get into it
government wanting to
in the
weaponize
third,
dinosaurs, or is there any of that? Because I could see like
that's
that
in the
being
fourth
a-
movie.
okay.
The raptors are being bred by like the CIA or some shit to be
course they are.
assassins. They want to like airdrop them into Afghanistan or some shit. See, that kind of shit, I don't know. Follow the screams.
She's gonna hit somebody.
I actually don't think people would scream if they saw this. They would just be in total shock.
I would just go stoic.
Just walk right up, get the flare out. Hey, over here! I'm the hero, and you just immediately get eaten.
I mean, this is America, so I would have had a joint.
Look, callback. This is gonna be a callback.
Yeah.
Fucking callback, exactly.
I would have just done the proper thing and packed a bowl, lit it up, sat there.
Whoa, hang on. Did you see that movie poster?
The one with Robin Williams?
No, I only saw the one, but it was King Lear, but it had Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I saw the one beside it with Robin Williams on it.
What was the title?
I didn't catch the title. My brain couldn't read it fast enough.
Those were hilariously fake posters. Arnold Schwarzenegger in King Lear.
You told me you've never seen a Last Action Hero, right? Is that you?
No, I said I just hadn't seen it since I was a kid.
Because that was a movie I didn't appreciate as a kid, but fucking love as an adult.
I think I told you I tried to rewatch it sort of recently, and for whatever reason I didn't like get immersed in it, so I don't know, I like watched something else or looked at my phone or some shit. It wasn't the movie's fault. It was just bad timing or whatever when I was watching it.
Trying to watch it too late at night, maybe after you're already drinking and stuff.
Likely. It's likely. I think that might have happened a couple of times with Last Action Hero, because it was on Netflix for a long while, and I kept like trying to watch it. See, I like shit like that. Also, that's the most direct reference to the fucking Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
thing.
That's true.
The old 76.
Where did he leave his daughter? Did his daughter die already?
There's no way she's dead. I think she's just safe somewhere. 76 gas station.
I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
I was going to say, do those exist?
Probably somewhere.
Because they seemed like they didn't really exist even when they existed, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
They were really rare in where I grew up, at least.
I remember there was one on the way to my aunt and uncle's house who lived out in the middle of like literally nowhere in this place called Shady Valley.
I had the same kind of thing. It's like I would see one like on the drive to like some relative's house, and that was maybe the only one I'd ever seen ever. That just reminds me for some reason of the hilariously named like like not big time gas stations, but ones that have like I guess they still sell gas, but they're mostly just for like convenience store purposes. You know what I mean? Like the ones with really generic but fucked up names, like Come and Go, like cum spelled like KUM.
Yeah.
I swear there's something like that. It was like Quick Come, or like just these like fucking porn title sounding like convenience stores.
This fucking guy just had like a whole ship of people eaten by his dinosaurs. And he's not like worried about getting arrested. He's just chasing them for the baby dinosaur. It's so weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is going to play into our Marxist analysis.
Where did he get a suit from? Wasn't he wearing shorts? Did he have time to go change into a suit?
I guess he did. I don't know. It is kind of weird. I mean, we have been talking over everything, so... Although I'd like to imagine there's just no explanation. Like, in one shot, he's wearing the shorts, and the next shot, he's got the full suit on. Well, no, I think what it was is, like... because he thought it... Yeah, he was, like, triumphant. Remember when
Yeah.
he was like, "We've got it. We've got
That's
the T-Rex." Like,
I guess some time.
So he
expired.
probably he changed his clothes for like the big like welcoming
unveiling, right?
Yeah.
Because he decided to put the T-Rex in the San Diego Zoo, which is just going to go.
I feel like they don't
endlessly.
do enough with the T-Rex on the city streets. I mean, I guess he like knocked over that bus. He ate the dog, or she. I can't remember if it's must be the mother. We might have missed it, but I remember just from like, of course, what a bad movie podcast that I listened to. They mentioned some part of this movie where there's like a really stereotypical group of like Japanese tourists who see the T-Rex and they literally say something like, "Oh, Gojira."
Yeah.
Or like there's some sort of like bad Godzilla reference. We might have talked over that. I'm guessing we did because I think the city stuff is done.
I think it's
now.
at the mall scene.
Yeah. Yeah, of course this guy's going to get eaten. Oh, right. I remember this. The T-Rex teaches the baby to kill. Kill that stupid... Oh, wait. He's not a lawyer. Whatever.
CEO.
Bad guy.
CEO.
InGen. That's the evil company of the JP world. Pretty sure they remain the villains throughout all of them. See, I feel like that's just another callback to the banner falling, that shot. But it's just like the way weaker version of it.
I'd like to know how one of those dinosaur tranquilizers would make me feel.
Like $1 million.
Just hit me up with that dinosaur tranquilizer. That and a line of cocaine. Let's see how the night goes.
I just imagine you loading up that huge dart and that huge gun and then pointing it at your throat. It just like goes through your head. I feel great as your brains leak out of your eye.
It's like...
What's up, girlfriend? I don't know why he would say it like that.
I'm a real action hero now.
Triumphant instrumental music. They must have used the original score, but I feel like I haven't noticed it as much. Like,
just the opening, I thought.
Yeah, and they'll probably use it at the end, I guess. CNN.
Wouldn't the news cover this shit up? I don't know why.
I mean, I think once the T-Rex has rampaged through the city, it's a little... Unless you firebomb that whole city.
U.S. government's good at fucking covering shit up, man.
Yeah, I think it's probably just not worth it to them. I don't know.
I can't imagine, like... Maybe I'm just, like, too engrossed in film culture and weird conspiracy stuff, but I can't imagine the U.S. government allowing anyone to get it. Like, if dinosaurs were made, I imagine they would just send in the military to, like, exterminate them pretty quickly.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out, are they being forthright about what's happening? Or are they saying it's like another animal?
I think they're being forthright.
Because they keep just saying the animal. Says the guy who started all of this shit, meddled everywhere. Oh, yeeks. That's the third reference to that. Here comes that familiar triumphant instrumental music. Here's some pterodactyls, or whatever they are.
Those are pterodactyls, sure.
I mean, there's other dactyls I forget the names of, but... You know, I've been watching Jeopardy lately on Netflix.
Jeopardy's on Netflix?
US Netflix. You gotta use the VPN.
Okay.
And Wheel of Fortune.
Seems like a weird show to watch reruns of.
No, I know it is weird, but I've been doing it, and it's really weird, man. Like, because I've been like watching it at like 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning.
Jeopardy's comforting though.
It is weirdly comforting, and I've been thinking about like how Alex Trebek is dead, and then I started like researching Alex Trebek, and he is a real fucking political coward. He had like no ideology, but anyway.
I think that's how most
he was
famous
like
people
he was like he was like your character, the radical centrist. Like he was like proud to be like right in the middle.
Oh
like,
yeah, I know.
But
I
also
think that's like a generational thing.
But he's a fucking Canadian bastard who has free healthcare and shit. It's like fuck you.
I didn't realize he was Canadian.
Yeah, he's like famously from Canada. In my mind, he's famously from Canada. But anyway, on I almost said Jurassic Park. On Jeopardy, Jurassic Jeopardy, there was a question about flying dinosaurs, and I yelled out pterodactyl, and I was wrong because it was something else. So that's what made me think of it. But yeah, they've got like a shit ton of episodes of that, and Wheel of Fortune, which is such a weird thing to. I watched. Well,
they played back to back, so it's okay to watch them at the same time. Because I know that going to my grandparents' house, my grandfather, you know, that was like it was Wheel of Fortune. Then wait, no.
I think it was the other way around because I remember Jeopardy being on at like
I thought it was Wheel of Fortune, then Jeopardy.
My memory was Jeopardy was on in like the late afternoon, like 4:30, and then like 5:00 would roll at 5, and then like dinner time was like Wheel of Fortune, but like right before dinner was Jeopardy.
See, I was thinking the new episodes were like
that's how it aired when I was a kid.
7 for Wheel of Fortune and 7:30 for Jeopardy. It doesn't fucking matter.
That sounds too late for my experience.
Because I thought they came on right after the news. Like right after the 6:00 news.
It could be. Also, like all of this shit is regional, and we lived in different parts of the country. So.
True.
I remember. I'm almost positive that Jeopardy.
You were like in middle time. You weren't on East Coast time, right?
Yeah, we were central.
Yeah, middle time. Maybe that's why. Because like, if it was coming on for 5 at you, that would be like
6 for you.
6 or 7 for me. Yeah,
6 is an hour.
Yeah.
Different.
Okay.
Yeah, but like the weird thing of watching those two shows is like, and maybe it's something about like, the time of day I was watching it, or like getting weirdly reflective and like sort of sensitive or something at like 4 a.m, not sleeping and not drinking and stuff. It's just like, look at these normal people. Why can't I be a normal person? These people are so happy with just being normal, like that, those kind of thoughts.
One of my ex's brothers won the Price is Right sweepstakes, which is not Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune.
That's still
I remember
something.
we were dating. He had taken a trip to California, and you know they would select audience members, but he randomly was selected to be Price is Right, and then he like won the whole thing. He threw a great party after he got back.
That sounds awesome.
I wasn't like super good friends with him, but I was invited, and he's like,
I mean, the
money.
the prizes differ a lot depending on your how you game. That was a show I watched a shit ton as a kid, especially if I was homesick from school.
I associate all those shows with my grandparents, but when I was a kid, my grandfather and grandmother lived with me for like 4 or 5 years. So,
yeah, Wheel of Fortune. You know what they call Wheel of Fortune? Like it's not even just a nickname. I've realized recently because I was like looking into the history of it and shit while I was watching it. It's called America's Game, and that's like trademarked by them. Like that's how much of America's Game Wheel of Fortune is. But like also watching those two, and the reruns are all like fairly recent, probably from the last like at most like
Yeah.
5 years. So like I've never seen I haven't watched those shows since like the 90s. But seeing like the updated versions and they're basically the same as they always have been. I don't know. It's just been a real weird trip to watch those two old shows. But let's put on the next one.
Pat Sajak and Vanna White.
Yeah, Vanna White still looks young, but you can tell she's had a lot of surgery. And Pat Sajak looks like the luckiest man alive. Like his whole life is just going, hey there, you got money, spin the wheel. And he's like a billionaire by now. Or a 100 millionaire, hundreds of millions, I'm guessing.
I would love to have this job.
All right. And with that, on that weird note, let's stop and go to the next movie.